Hey, I'm having fun. So I'm totally cribbing off of a conversation where I was listening to Leanne Gunnar-Johns and my daughter Morley talking about their careers. And Leanne has just celebrated 16 years anniversary of her ordination, and Morley is just getting past her graduate degree. She's a master's in school counseling and trying to find her way in her career. So the challenge for us is finding the right balance. Well, balance may not be the word, but let's work with it for a second. Between ego and acceptance. And ego wants more. Ego wants to compare. And I want us to live. I want to encourage you to try to live from acceptance. And this is a challenging concept, to live from acceptance, because ego is in us. It's in all of us, and it wants more. It wants to accumulate. It wants to achieve. It wants to measure by appearance, and so we're comparing ourselves to other people, and we can always struggle with measuring up and feel bad. Acceptance doesn't feel bad. Acceptance is living by faith, not by sight. And we can find that when we live out of the fruits of the Spirit that are love, joy, peace, faithfulness, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control. Those are those fruits of the Spirit that let us live faithfully, trusting that God will supply our every need. And I try to do that in my life. I try to accept that what is coming to me is what I need in that moment. But the ego steps back in and says, maybe it's not good enough. Maybe I need to be more. Maybe I need to be like Dr. Phil or Wayne Dyer or something like that. Those are great folks, but I am not them. I am me. I'm just Bruce, and I live in Gray and work in Macon and have a lot of good friends, and life is really good. Except for when I begin this sort of ego trip of, is it good enough? And I can say it is good enough, and that's a statement of acceptance, that my life is being lived, and I am in my life. And if I step outside of that I should be somewhere else, I'm not in the moment. And acceptance is, this is what it is. Jack Nicholson line, this is as good as it gets. Well, for right now, to be in this moment, I may think of other things to do and want to be more purposeful, more intentional in my life, and I can always do that, pursuing, finding the way that my inner being tells me to go. Nothing wrong with that, but I don't need to make myself unhappy by not being able to accept where I am today. So that's what I want to challenge you with. Where are you today? Are you really unhappy with where you are? I don't want you to do that. I want you to start with where you are, accepting where you are, not comparing yourself to other folks, not living out of ego that needs more, that needs to look good, that needs to be liked, but instead trust that you are getting what you need, that the life you are living is bringing to you what you need. The answers are there for you, and you can live forward from that. So ego wants to measure, and we end up feeling bad when we live out of ego. Acceptance is living by faith and trusting that we are where we need to be, and that our needs will be supplied, and that from that position we very simply step forward, take the next right step, moving forward in our life. So acceptance is what I'm encouraging you to live by. I think you can do it.